Alright, today we're going to be looking at some Mac micro turn wrenches. As you can see, I've got the 10, 11, and 15. I don't have the complete set. This is something I just stumbled across recently. Picked up a couple and a set of large assorted wrenches off of eBay. And now I'm actually trying to hunt these things down. What's kind of special about them, if you'll notice, on each side, for example the 15, you can notice that it's marked 15 on each side, same with the 10 and the 11. That's because it is the same on each side. Well, why would you want a wrench that is the same on each side? Because each side is timed ever so slightly differently. So, according to Mac's website, which I just got done checking, the average wrench, at least that they sell, it's got a 30-degree arc that you have got to swing it to get that thing retimed on the fastener again. Well, the micro turn wrenches are each end clocked ever so slightly differently, so that if you use this side and you run out of room and then flip it around and use the other side, you'll only have to swing the wrench about 15 degrees rather than a full 30 degrees. So it's great for those tight to reach places. Right now I'm going to go ahead and slide a 15 millimeter Mac wrench in there for comparison, and this is just the standard pattern wrench, not the super long ones. This is the CW line, if you will. That's the beginning part number on all these, but they're both 15 millimeter wrenches, and as you can see, these are quite a bit longer. I don't think they're quite as long as some of the other long pattern wrenches that I've got from, let's say, SK or somebody like that. They're fairly close, but not quite there, I don't think. Nonetheless, again, great beam thickness on these. I personally like a fatter wrench. I have never had an area on anything that I really couldn't get to for the most part. And frankly, if I do, I've got a cheap set of wrenches that are really thin. I'm going to go ahead right now and put a tape measure in here, actually, just so that you can get kind of a really good idea about what these things are like. I love a nice long 10 millimeter wrench, just for the simple fact that working all the old Chryslers, and old of course is relative, the ones from the 80s and early 90s, you know, if you've got a 10 millimeter, 13 millimeter, 15 millimeter, and 18 millimeter wrench, there is almost nothing that will slow you down on those cars. So for me, as you can tell, the 10 millimeter is quite a bit shinier looking. This is actually a new old stock wrench that I really actually did break the bank open for and buy it off of eBay. It's kind of hard for me to tell. I haven't contacted Mac directly regarding these wrenches, but hard for me to tell if they are actually still available. If you do a Google search for Mac micro turn wrench, you will one of the first things you come across is a link to Mac's website, and they still list a full metric set of these. The picture is wrong, and that is throwing me off. That's why I'm not sure if they're really still available. But they retail them on the site for $298.99, so almost $300 for, I believe, a 6-piece set, and that's quite a bit of money. I have seen these literally in the last couple of weeks on eBay fetching $50 a wrench, and people were actually bidding on them. So they are quite popular, and they do bring quite a bit of money. If you can find them like I've done, and just getting them, here and there in sets of mixed match wrenches and things, it's really nice to pick these up. I'll go ahead and flip it over real quickly so that you can see the part number. And if you can't, it's just BMT2, and then the size of the wrench in millimeters. Okay, so with these, it's BMT2 and then 15 mm, BMT 11 and then mm, of course. So that's what we've got going on there. We're going to go ahead next and put a 15 millimeter bolt in the vise, and we'll kind of show you how all this thing works with the timing and what have you. It ends up working out really well, and again, something nice to throw in the box if you can find them for cheap. Not something that I would necessarily go out and spring for. You guys know from all my videos that I'm looking to get that, $3 to $4 wrench, $5 max per wrench sort of a deal, and I've got a lot of wrenches in the box at that price. Frankly, this is one of the few right here, this 10 millimeter, to add it to the collection, especially since it was new old stock, that I've actually sprang for. So let's go ahead, let's get this video on the road here with the vise up next. Okay, so here you can see we got the bolt in the vise, and I've got kind of two of the points on the hexagonal head there, parallel with the opening in the vise. If I take the normal 15 millimeter Mac wrench and I put it on here, you can see that it pretty well lines up like that. And then I believe, according at least to the Mac website, that's going to be about 30 degrees between these two positions. So the earliest you can reclock it on this bolt head here is going to be right there at 30 degrees. Fine. Let's go ahead and take the micro turn wrench, and we can put it on here also. And when we do, I guess actually let's go ahead and do this. When we do, you got it on there. If you wanted to reclock it, same deal. Closest you can do is about 30 degrees right there. However, what you could do is, alright, I've turned the bolt, it has stopped, I'm out of room. If I flip the wrench around to the other side, you can see that it won't line up anymore there, so you go here. So they say that this difference between right here and then again the other side of the wrench, they say that's about a 15-degree difference. So that is really the value in these micro turn wrenches. And I know the reason that they're still making them again is the Cummins motors. I guess there's a few fasteners on there, especially the 15, I guess, that you need to get to. So they make a set. It is still offered on their website. It's like $300 if you buy it retail on their site. So very expensive set. And again, I've seen them going on eBay used, a complete set for $200-250. So you know, pretty expensive. Obviously, they don't make a ton of them. Frankly, I'm not even sure if you can buy the set if they're still listing on the site and it's still available for real or what, because you can't find it through their normal catalog. You've got to do like an actual search for it and find it. But nonetheless, there we are, Mac micro turn wrenches. If you find a set for cheap at an auction, a garage sale, or you find some on eBay, snap them up because, quite frankly, if nothing else, if you don't like them, you can always resell them. But frankly, I find they're a good thing to keep in the box. The beam thickness is really nice fat wrench, as the Mac wrenches always are, and I like that so they don't dig into my hands as much. And good length on them too, so it's a little bit longer than normal. It's like a long pattern wrench, good beam thickness, and then you got the added bonus of being able to flip it over and retime it in only like 15 degrees. So that's a win in my book, and pick them up if you get the chance.